I guess as close to Catholicism as you can get without still being a Protestant, I guess. Is Lutheranism, but
yeah, it's extremely close.
Yeah.
You shoot elite? I see your hat.
I did. Yeah. I still do actually. I have one. I'm trying to sell. I want to get a Hoyt really bad.
Yeah.
But these are nice bows. They're really nice. I had
That's what I shoot now.
Is that what you shoot now?
Hoyts for the longest.
Okay.
I love tinkering. I shot a shit ton of bows. Too many bows, and but elite now. Anthony Steele. I don't know if you know that name. He runs the outdoor group. Him and his dad own own it.
No, I talked to Larry McCoy quite a bit.
Yeah,
Larry Mack. He's a good dude.
Yeah, so Anthony and his dad, I think, has 80% of the share or something like that for the outdoor group. So basically, they own it. But really cool guy. Yeah, I hunted with him up in Illinois last fall. It was fun, November. But yeah, good bows. I like those. I'm really into trad stuff.
Me too. That's why I said I'm like, I have an elite bow. I do want to get a Hoyt sometime soon here. Like they're just like Hoyt's
great
Hoyt.
bows,
They're great. They're cool. But I do have an elite compound, but I haven't touched it for a couple of years because I got a longbow. Yeah, and I'm like, that's where I'm at right now.
So fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's just different. Yeah. Like it's just I don't know. I grew up shooting. This is mainly a firearms hunting podcast. Like I work with the Working Class Bow Hunter podcast guys, and they're obviously bow hunters, and I'm a bow hunter as well. But I love guns. Yeah, I'm a gun guy. Yeah.
Is this recording?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it.
I like to just kind of weasel right in, but I've just always been a gun guy, and I like them. I like hanging out, like working on guns and like, shooting guns and stuff like that. But I've never been like an archery guy. Yeah. And then I picked up a longbow. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
a different
fun.
Animal. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You actually have to shoot like compounds. I feel like I can kind of get it dialed in and shoot it and be like, okay, I'm good.
I'll hang it up until I'm gonna go hunt.
Yeah. It's fine. Like I got the form. I'm good. Yeah. Like I can shoot a few, and like I'm good out to 30, 40, 50 yards. Like I'm fine. I'm very effective out there, I think. And then with a longbow, I'm like, oh no. Yeah. If you don't pick it up and shoot it consistently, you suck.
Yeah. You got to shoot it a lot. It's made me better with my compound. It's made me better with guns. I went through the whole thing. Like started and. Do you want to jump into it, or do you have to do an intro or anything?
Nope, you're good. Yep.
Yeah, so like I really started hunting seriously in 2017. It's only about 10 years ago. Okay. I grew up on the farm I mentioned earlier, but so shooting guns, but my hunting then was like turtles and songbirds, like
turtles and songbirds.
I guess what do they call it? What do they call it? The songbird grand slam. Got that with my red rider. Like a blue jay, a cardinal, a robin, a sparrow.
I was never allowed to shoot the other ones. My dad was just like, just shoot like the sparrows and like annoying birds.
Yeah, it was. I guess I probably shouldn't have said that on a podcast. I'll probably get a ticket now for that.
Yeah, I think statute of limitations is up. You were a child on a farm.
So grew up shooting BB guns and 22s, and my uncle had a sawed-off shotgun. The first experience of shooting a big gun is always with a crazy uncle who's like, try this. It doesn't kick. It's not loud. And he's got this sawed-off thing, and he's good day.
You got 3.5-inch magnums in there.
Like you can't hear anything as a kid for the rest of your life. Ear. But so 17 I got into it. Went on a rifle hunt at my previous church. Guy had a farm or had some property out in the hills, and so he invited him to come out and smoked a doe. 202 yards was the 270 he had. Nice. And I was hooked. I was
really?
hooked. Yeah. So then.
Damn, and then joined the Air Force.
Yeah, yeah, that was right before, or that was after I got out of the Air Force. So I was in ministry, and then.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said 2017.
17.
I thought you said 17 years old.
Oh no,
I'm like,
no.
Okay, so
no, 2017. Yeah.
Okay.
So that started with the guns, and. But then we lived in the city limits, or I lived in the city limits, and if I wanted to shoot, I had to go out of town to shoot. Mm-hmm. But then I learned, like, I can shoot my bow in town, and you can shoot the arrows over and over and over. You can reload this thing, and so then, the rest is history from there. Just went deep into bow hunting, and just follow the thing. Rifle, you get hooked on it, then you want to challenge it, then you go to bow, and then you say, I'm ultra elite, so I'm not going to use a gun. So for a few years, no gun at all. Mm-hmm. Then started using a gun and bow, but the gun I was a lot more intentional. Like, okay. it may be easier kind of with a gun because you can reach out further. So, okay, I'll make it more challenging. So I would like really say, okay, I want to put it in this pocket or on this rib or whatever. And then like when you shoot the animal, then check. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, you were right there. Or it was 1.5 inches off, whatever. But so I'd try to up it like that. And then got into traditional archery and been doing that for the last 2.5 years, which has been so fun. And my most recent thing is lever actions. I love lever actions.
Dude, I love lever actions too. But you were talking about like being easier and stuff with guns. And I've heard that from a lot of bow hunters and stuff too. And yes, it's just more effective.
Yeah,
it's a much more
that's
effective
a better word,
tool
effective,
because
yeah.
hey, I talk to bow hunters and they're like compound hunters, like screw crossbows. I'm a bow hunter, I'm a real bow hunter. And it's like, yeah, but then you have the trad guys. They're like, you have wheels, dude.
Right.
Like, you're no better than the crossbow guys. And then it's like or the rifle guys or whatever else. It's like you always have people like doing it differently than you. But it's like a compound bow is way more effective than a recurve, and a crossbow is way more effective than a compound, and then a rifle is way more effective than all of them.
Sure.
But it's just like, is it easier or harder or whatever? I don't know. It's a really effective tool.
Yeah.
When it comes to killing animals, it's just the kind of the way it is. But it is fun to challenge yourself. Like shooting a Gunworks, 300 PRC is going to go a lot further than shooting like a Henry 4570.
Right. Yeah. And that's been
it's fun.
I think that's important for hunters. Something that pisses me off with like the social media space is it's all a competition, and like we're shooting ourselves in the foot by the way we, PP on each other and like, oh, well, you're not really hunting because you got this or you got that, and whether it be the kind of weapon, the place, the animal, even, we're close to Texas. I love hunting in Texas, man. There's some cool places. And that opens up a whole nother can of worms. What about high fence stuff? Well, that doesn't count. It's like shooting a fish in a bucket. I've been on some high fence hunts that have kicked my ass. And I've been on some open public land hunts that have been easy. Like and everything in between. Like it's in both ends of the spectrum. I've done high fence hunts where literally the first hour, it's there, but the animal's there. And, so it's, I think, if guys and girls are hunting ethically and they're having fun, like, get off their backs. Like that's just, it's just like we don't need to do this and fight over this. But I'm an all sport guy. I love all the stuff. I don't fish a lot, but I love any kind of big game. I like big game more than small game. And any take, I'll use whatever's in season. And I like to challenge myself. Again, recently I mentioned these lever guns. And they're so fun.
They're so cool.
And so
they're just badass.
Right.
They sound cool.
Right.
Like the chunk chunk. Like they sound really cool. They're fun to look at and they're fun to carry.
When you mix it up and put cans on them with scopes and have like a vintage lever with that, dude, I've got a couple of Henrys. One's the 300 Blackout Supreme, and the other one is their new 223-556, the speed model. It's got the carbon barrel suppress. Well, I have a suppressor on it, but it's a
223 lever action.
Yeah, I'll show you when we finish.
Okay.
I'll show you the guns,
awesome.
And so they wanted to make it as precise as possible, and they put a video up. When they were developing it, the guy wanted to take a mile-long shot with this, and so he did. And
what?
Yeah.
Shot a mile with a lever gun?
Yeah.
Whoa.
With this 223 model.
Wow.
And just a sweet gun. And so mixing like the new and the old is really awesome. You can cycle through some rounds. They're tough, but levers are fun. But now, like, I'm an equal opportunity hunter. Whatever's in season, whatever means are there. And for me, like, one of the challenges that I have now, like the self-imposed challenges, is how many different weapons can I use each year? And like, where can I put the bullet or the arrow? And that's been kind of fun. You mentioned crossbows a little while ago. I have a crossbow, and God was excited about it. And then after I had it and hear all these murmurings on social media, like, oh, that's not real hunting. Like, then I was thinking, oh, I can't do it. And then I was like, don't be a dumbass. Yes, you can. And so the next season, I said, you're not going to kill any. You're not going to use a gun or compound bow until you kill something with your crossbow. I said compound. I meant to say crossbow. So so I was talking about the crossbow. Like, that's not a real thing. But the following year, I said, all right, Stephen, you're not going to use any other weapon until you kill something with your crossbow. And it was one of the funnest hunts.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm not. Yeah, it was. I got a doe, but It took a number of days to get them, and
well, they're still wild animals. They're not,
so
just because you're carrying
right.
a crossbow doesn't mean they are going to walk right in.
Right, and I just say that to say, like, it's not so much the weapon that makes or breaks the hunter, but it's the attitude behind the trigger, And,
Right.
And so for me, like, that keeps it fun. Even now, like, it's fun to take a big gun and just blast the hell out of an animal, but also the blood trail from a good arrow is sweet too. Like,
it is.
Everything in between. I'm for all of it. Yeah.
I am too. Personally, I will say I gotta come clean. Confession time. I do a fair bit amount of shit talking crossbows, not the people. I try to stay away from talking shit about the people using them because I don't want to. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
But like the tool itself, like I live in Iowa, I don't want to see crossbows in Iowa during archery season because
I can get behind that.
It's a different game.
The crossbows now,
I almost don't even want to see some compounds during archery season because they're getting so effective.
It's insane.
It's like we need to like draw a line here because you're taking an animal, a white-tailed deer, during its most vulnerable time, and that's why we use archery equipment.
Right.
And if you're using a crossbow, like. Yeah,
the technology
we already have early muzzleloader season in October. Like
exactly.
we don't need to just pump the brakes. You can use. I'm totally for using crossbows during gun season and late season and stuff like that. But like during that time period,
sure.
I feel like crossbows shouldn't be allowed in Iowa.
Yeah,
I don't care about.
Well, there's a lot of states. I think that that's something. Who has a discussion? What does it look like in implementation? I don't know, but instead of dividing it up by the form of firearm or the form of weapon, divided up by what is its maximum reasonable ethical range. So, I mean, crossbows now are doing what muzzleloaders were doing 30 years ago.
100%.
Muzzleloaders now are doing what most people couldn't do with a rifle 40 years ago.
In Iowa, we can use smokeless muzeloaders, which is a fucking single shot rifle. Dude.
You dope it up with a scope, and you'll go 300-400 yards. I mean, it's insane.
No, those smokeless muzzleloaders, you can shoot them. Like people are hitting 8-inch gongs at 1,000 yards.
It's insane
with a smokeless muzzleloader. Like, is it technically a muzzleloader? Yes, because you're loading it from the muzzle. But dude, it's smokeless powder.
Right.
It's a single shot rifle.
Right.
Like, are we gonna allow single shot rifles then? If that's the case, like
exactly.
Might as well. Or should we maybe start limiting that technology a little bit? Because what's the intended purpose for a late muzzleloader season? What's the intended purpose of an archery season? Like, what's the intended purpose? It's like to limit the hunter.
Right.
Because we've gotten too effective, we're going to kill all the damn animals.
Yeah.
Should we start pulling back some of this stuff? I don't know.
I wonder what that perimeter would look like. How would you measure that? Would it be the speed of the bullet, or like the distance of the speed of the bullet, weight of the bullet, the arrow speed? Like what does that look like? It's just a fun thing to experiment or to think about. But I 100% agree with all this stuff where, there's a place for all these weapons, but let's level the playing field and don't use your muzzleloader and say that you're handicapped by it, or your crossbow and say that you're handicapped by that. When, compared to a rifle, the crossbow's handicapped. But in reality, like you can go out to 70 yards or 100 with some of them now, and I mean it'd be an ethical thing. Like no question.
I mean, you're shooting
it.
500, 600, 700 feet per second in some of these crossbows. Insane. Yeah. That's crazy. And it's like effectiveness, I guess, in the eyes of the beholder. Like I can shoot a rifle a lot better than like some other person, and some other person can shoot a rifle a lot better than me.
Right.
Like that. But I think it's like. You have to limit the technology because you can't limit someone's ability.
Yeah.
Like also John Dudley. Like I mean, what's his face? John. I'm just gonna say him just because he's the first one that came to mind. He can shoot a bow.
Yeah.
Way better than I can. I mean, I see him kill a turkey at like 105 yards. Like,
shooter.
That's insane.
Right.
I can't do that though.
Right. Know your limits. Push them and keep going. But
No, it is fun though, and it's like. I love like hunting's always been a big passion of mine. I took a long break when I was in the Army, but Glover guns specifically, like I had a Marlin for a little while, and I got rid of it because it was during the time where Marlin was owned by Remington, and it sucked. Like it wasn't the greatest. Like the finish was off, and it shot.
Sure.
But it was just like kind of like I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. But like Henrys and stuff are awesome, and Marlins now are great because they're owned by Ruger now. Ever since Remington kind of. Had some
I have one
struggles.
Marlin.
But now they're owned by Ruger and they're great. But when Marlin was by itself, like pre-Remington, they were great. during Remington, not the greatest.
Yeah.
Post Remington, they're great again. So
good. I got one Marlin's what I got, and a number of Henrys. But this year I hunted a lot with my 360 buckhammer. It's one of the straight wall, right? And it's a lever action Henry X. That thing is an animal slayer. I killed 2 axis and 5 whitetails with it this year. 4 whitetails with it this year.
wow, I've been really interested in that cartridge, honestly.
It's like a. They compare a lot to a 30. It's the ballistics maybe 200 feet faster than a 30-30. A little bit more accurate. I think it spins faster, but it's just. I mean, it's effective. I don't know if it's. I've got a 6.5 PRC. Made by Fierce, so it's a sweet gun. A friend of mine gifted it to me, so there's no way I could have got that. It's got a night force on it with that. It's almost a 10 grand rig, like altogether.
About 2 years to save for that bad boy.
It was a amazing gift from a dear friend of mine, like a U.S. national shooter and everything.
Wow,
this guy's like his house was built around the gun safe. He's like one of those guys. Like, and then it's just a family thing, and you walk in there, it's just it's sweet. But so he gave me that gun. But bring back with a 360 buckhammer. So the 6.5 PRC is a hammer, but like in some ways the 360 buckhammer will drop a deer quicker. 100 to 200 yards than the PRC will. It's almost like the PRC hits so fast. It's going so fast, like the bullet. It's going too fast for the bullet that close, and so it messes up a deer. The deer's dead. But that 360 buckhammer, just between that 1 and 200 yard range, it's the perfect speed to open up and not frange out. And
well, there's a point of diminishing returns when it comes to speed,
right?
For sure. Like we know that in archery too, where it's like, if you have the only way you can get more speed is either pull back more weight, have a longer draw length, which you can't change, or lighten the arrow. Same thing with like bullets and stuff too, and cartridges. Like, how do we get more speed out of this thing? It's like, we need more powder. You get more powder, and then it's like, okay, now the recoil is unmanageable. Now, how do we manage the recoil with more power? Like, okay, smaller bullet. It's like you're playing this game.
Yeah.
But like the old timers, like they kind of understood where it's like, okay, like a bigger, slower bullet, it does put them down differently.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it kind of just like hits them with a truck rather than getting hit with a Subaru. It's like it's a different situation. You're not going
I don't
as
want to
fast,
be hit
but
with your
holy
truck.
shit. Yeah, but it definitely does. Like I have a 450 Bushmaster, and that thing thumps.
Oh, yeah, I've never shot one, but I got a 4570, and that thing.
Oh, that's got a little more.
I didn't realize how uncomfortable that would be, but
yeah, yeah. 450 Bush. I think 4570 has a little bit more oomph behind it than.
But they're similar, aren't
but
they?
they're very similar. Yeah.
That's a huge bullet, the 450.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's 45. I mean, it's a big fat bastard.
Yeah.
Going, it's like slinging through a deer, but it puts the hurt on him. But like, then you would compare that to like a 350 Legend. It's like completely different. But the 360 buckhammer, I think it does fit in like a really interesting spot where it's very similar to the 30-30, but it's a bigger bullet, it's bigger frontal diameter, but it's also very similar to like the 35 Remington from back in the day.
Yeah,
it performs very similarly to that. It's the same caliber bullet.
I think Ron Spomer, that's one that he really compared it to that.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Because I have a 35 Remington and Thompson Center Contender, so a single shot handgun.
Nice.
And that thing's sick. I killed 2 deer with it when I first took it out. It was awesome.
Nice.
But it's very similar to that, but the 360, I think it has a little bit more velocity. Like it's got a little more gas in its tank.
Yeah.
And it seems like a hammer.
It's cool. Yeah. I don't run it suppressed too. And do you shoot suppressed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just got one. This last year was my first year because Ashley got me one for Christmas.
She's a great wife.
She's the best.
Once you go suppress, like it's hard to go back. I mean,
it's so hard.
Just shooting without ear pro and it be okay. And I mean, ear pro's good, but it's always just like I don't want to spend the money on the ones that let you hear stuff, but also dampen at the same time. So just putting it in or out or wearing big earmuffs, I don't like. But
it's just better,
and it just looks badass.
It looks badass. Yeah, I mean, it's just better. Like it's just it helps with recoil too. It does take some of the recoil out, and it's quieter and it looks cool. I mean, and you're not annoying the neighbors. Like it's great. It's perfect.
My 4570 is it's a new one from Henry, and the Field Ethos edition. Did you see that one?
I did.
That's
sick.
It's insanely light, and so suppressed though it's crazy how much of a difference it makes with recoil. I didn't I knew that it helped with recoil, but it's almost pleasant to shoot now.
Mm-hmm.
Which before, the first time I shot a 45-70 was a traditional Henry, like wooden stock and everything. It beat the hell out of me.
It's
just beat the hell out of me. But suppressing
You'll feel
it. Yeah, suppressing it really makes a big difference.
Oh, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've always been a big fan of lever guns. They're just super cool, and they're handy. Like they're short barreled. They're handy in the woods. Like when you're walking through brush and everything else. Like they're just nice, handy little rifles, and you can shoot them fast.
They're faster than bolts, and they're quieter than semis, which is what I like. So it's like a happy middle ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. No, I like them a lot. We're onto something back in the Wild West, you know?
Yeah.
But bolt action, I mean, bolts are awesome. Like they're just, it's hard to get. Well, I was about to say, I'm like, it's hard to make lever action as accurate as a bolt gun. But it seems like Henry figured it out, I guess.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
1,000 yards with the lever action is pretty wild.
It's insane. So the couple of them that I had, they sent to me, and so which is again like really cool. Like cool to have cool friends like that.
Right.
To send two guns that I would never have been able to buy on my own. But these two newest ones, especially that 223, I'll show you later. That thing is it's a shooter.
That's awesome.
Shooter. What about trad stuff? You mentioned longbow.
Yeah.
Man, do you have other bows, other trad bows, or recurve? Do you ever have recurve and stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not a sore subject, but like I'm not big on like I know guys that have like 3 or 4 or 5 different compounds and stuff like that. I'm like, I'll never be like a collector of bows. That's silly. I'll buy a shit ton of guns.
Yeah.
And collect guns, but that's because they're all super cool and unique.
Yeah.
Compound bow is compound bow, in my opinion.
Sure.
But then I got on a trad. I'm like, oh, I could own a lot of these.
Do you have a few of them?
I've got 3, but yeah, they're sick. Like I have a buddy. His name's Sky Sullivan. I've had him on the podcast before too. But he's a big trad guy in Chateauneuf. He's another buddy that is big into trad stuff, and that's a problem because Scotty has a problem with buying things and then like using them for a little bit and being like, hey, friends, want to buy this for me for super cheap? And I'm like, yes. So
thank you, Scotty.
Yeah, he had this one longbow that I just fell in love with. Is camo back. Yeah. And the limbs are camo and stuff like that. I think it's actually like the old school like Fred Bear camo.
Oh yeah,
it's sick.
I love
I'm like,
that.
dude, if you get rid of that bow, like, don't sell it to somebody. Like, let me know. He's like, yeah, I'll probably keep this one. I'm like, okay. Then like a little while later, he's like, I'm actually gonna sell that bow. I'm like,
you got it?
I'll buy it. So I did.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's badass. And that's one I've been using. Gave me a very good deal on it. And he gave me a very good deal on it. And then he's like, the only thing is just kill something with it. Okay, I will. And then I dedicated my whole season last year to it. Didn't kill anything. But I'm going to. I told myself I'm not going to pick up a compound until I kill someone with that longbow. Yeah. And I'm sticking to it. So whether it takes me 5, 6 years, 10 years, I don't care. But I got to kill something with it. But
it's fun. I've killed one deer with a recurve. Maybe I'm kind of like Scotty, I think. So like we talked about earlier a little bit about money. So basically my investing is like on like hunt stuff. More or less, I've realized compounds lose value. I mean, once it gets to 3 years or more, 4 years or more, like it's pretty much the same price for all of them. A few $100 up to $500, you can get a good used bow. I always encourage that for people. If anyone is like new to it, to archery, instead of buying a super expensive flagship bow or a cheap new bow, I always tell them buy a 3-year-old flagship. Like you can't. It's gonna shoot fine. The technology is probably exact same as the current one, except maybe like a different riser cutout or something like that, new and improved. But
especially if you're first starting out, you're not gonna be shooting 70, 80 yards.
Right.
You're gonna be shooting 20, 30, 40 yards.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
But I've realized that guns and trad equipment hold value or go up, and so. I could put money in the bank. That would be probably more prudent. But
it's not as fun though.
But I can't play with money. Right. I can play with these guns and bows and.
Well, the banks are corrupt. It's like we can't trust them. Like there's a lot of stuff going on in the background with the banks and everything else, and who owns them and all that good stuff. But it's like I know who's making guns and longbows. Like it's a person. Like they're a little bit more trustworthy.
Exactly. It's supporting small businesses or big businesses, depending on it. But yeah, it's so I guess the listeners again probably think I'm taking out the collection plate. I'm not, but I just put all my money into those things.
We've all got priorities.
Fun
here.
stuff, yeah. And outside God and family, like hunting is my thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty much kind of how it goes with me too, honestly. So pretty similar in that aspect. But I mean, but that's the thing, is like get into hunting, whether it's bow hunting or gun hunting and guns in general. It's like, it's not cheap, and it's also one of those things where it does take a lot of like of your time too. So it's like you don't have that much more to, like, I don't watch a whole lot of sports. Like I catch up on it here and there, but I'm not like an avid football watcher.
Yeah,
like I'll watch the highlights and be good enough. But like I just can't. It's during hunting season. I can't sit there and watch football all day with my bros and do that when I'm out in a tree stand.
Right.
It's just something's
you
got to
can go in a tree stand, your buddy, and you can text back and forth while you're watching the updates for the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then miss a giant bug that walks by your saying, like, no, that's why I don't watch football. You get mad and you curse them. Then you curse football and your friend.
Man, dude, tree stands. So here, I started hunting out of a saddle about 4 years ago. Complete game changer.
Is it? I
didn't think about it. The first time I did it, the first year, sweating bullets, sweating like a whore in church. I was, I'm hugging that tree. I'm afraid it's going to break. But once you get the confidence, I mean, you got to be safe, of course, but it's a game changer. You go right up and down. I thought I would get up pretty high. Like for me, maybe like 15 feet. Like for me, like if I'm going to be hurt when I hit the ground, that's high enough.
Yeah, right. Yep.
I was hunting with some buddies in Illinois last year, and Anthony, the guy I mentioned earlier, and they have a huge farm, bunch of stands. Get in that evening, and so the first hunt was a morning hunt, and it was dark. They were like, all right, they showed me the pin. I got the pin. Go up to the top of this hill back behind the house, about a half a mile away or so. Walk in, and I start climbing this ladder. I couldn't get to the top of this damn thing, and it's terrible. It was freezing cold, but by the time I got there, I was in just a t-shirt by the time I got to the top because I was sweating so bad, so scared. And then I get up there, and I know I'm high. I can feel the tree swaying, and it was 3 different ladders that were on this tree.
Oh, jeez.
And so mentally I knew I took a lot of steps. When that sun came up, holy shit, man. I was like, I didn't know how I was going to get down. And I didn't even pick up my bow for probably the first 30 minutes of light. And I was almost cramping because my feet were together, my hands were on my legs, and I didn't want to move because I was afraid it was going to fall down. So anyhow, where's I going with that? Yeah, you guys up there, you hunt high.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys. I have a buddy of mine it's kind of similar situation. I hunted out of his tree stand on his farm, and he's like, it's up there pretty high. He's like, I like to hang him high. I'm like, okay, no problem. I did construction my whole life. Yeah. I got up in that tree stand. I'm like, jeez, he was not joking. This is high. But he likes, great guy. He likes to smoke cigarettes. He's like, hey, hang him up high enough. Don't need to worry about wind. Kind of thing. Like, okay.
Got a point.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's like, I mean, to a certain extent, he's kind of correct, where it's like, I did have deer coming in downwind of me and just didn't care because it was blowing over their backs. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. So a lot of people do like to hang high. I'm not one of them. Yeah. I don't like to either. Maybe it's working in wind where I'm like super safe about climbing and stuff like that. Those wind turbines are high, but like, it's out a ladder, it's enclosed, you're constantly tied off and stuff like that. But when I go hang a tree stand now, I'm kind of like, dude, I want to be as low as I can. Yeah. I don't want to go up as high as possible because I kind of like to hunt low. It makes it a little bit more personal too. Sure. I also hunt off the ground a lot. Yeah. So I like to be kind of down low because it's more fun. But at the same time, like, maybe it's because I'm scared a little bit. Because like when you're hanging off the side of a tree, you're trying to hang the stand, you're like doing all this stuff, then you get in the stand, and you're just like, man, if these straps fail, like I'm a big boy. Yeah. These straps fail, I'm done. You're
gonna have some momentum when you hit the ground.
I don't want to do that.
My favorite's just an elevated blind. I mean, you get away with so much.
Oh yeah.
Like, a lot of these Texas hunts, or even here, there's a number of places here where I'll hunt from elevated blinds, and it's like the most relaxing hunts because a lot of times you won't hear them because I mean you're looking out further, so it's usually just eyes.
Are you talking like a redneck like hard side blind?
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, but those 9 times out of 10 I'll like just put some music in and just kind of veg out and so relaxing. accent.
That's nice.
So good.
Yeah, we did that in Kansas. She came to Kansas to me when we went down there last year and hunted, and it was our first taste of, because we've been to Africa and France together and hunted. And those are completely different ways to hunt. Like, she's kind of spoiled in the fact that she got to go to Africa for the first time and hunt there in Africa, and you just seen all these different animals, and it's just a constant, like, and it's comfortable. It's nice and warm for the most part. It gets a little bit chilly in the mornings, but pretty comfortable during the day. Then we went to Kansas, and she's like, it actually stayed pretty hot, like pretty warm, but then there were some cold mornings and cold evenings where she's like, this is brutal. Yeah, it is. But we hunted in like soft-sided lands for the most part, but we did hunt out of a redneck a couple times. Like, this is sick. I get why people have these. Like, this is really nice. And you feel, you can get away with a lot, but it's also, like, just nice in there.
Yeah, it's super nice. Especially if kids, too. They can kind of come and hang out a little bit. But.
I know.
You ever hunted Texas?
No. I want to really bad. Someday, that's a goal of mine, is to go hunt in Texas someday. And, like, exotics in Texas and everything else, like, I don't know, nilgai, axis deer, all the things. Like, that's like, I'm not afraid to hunt high fence. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool. I think it has its place. Yeah. As long as you're honest about it. And if you shoot a 280-inch whitetail and trying to pawn it off as not a high fence,
public land.
That's not right. Yeah, public land. Yeah, public land monster.
Yeah,
with Texas
with my grandfather's longbow.
But if you're honest about it, I'm like, that's cool. Whatever. I think it's great.
Agree. And there's an art. I mean, those guys. There are operations that are like kind of canned. I mean, just high fence, buying animals and just dumping them in. Almost like semi-tamed. I don't want to say tamed, but like farm raised.
Yeah.
It's just a different hunt. That being said, like, there are, like you said, if you're honest with it, that's cool. There are some people that I totally respect it. Like, let's say they're business people or it's a family guy, just can't get away. It's like, I just want to go. I've got a day and a half. I want to get a cool animal.
Yeah.
Go for it, man. Go hammer the thing. But
yeah, Jimmy John from like the sandwich guy.
Yeah.
Jimmy John, like, he talks about a lot. He's like, yeah, I hunt a high fence. It's great.
Yeah.
I hunted a lot. Like, I'm rich. Like,
I
can do what I want.
I didn't know he hunted.
He's like, but it is different. It's like, it's not the same as hunting like a low fence, because he hunts low fence too, and all the above. But he's like, this is a different situation. But I'm a busy guy. If I have 2 days off, I'm going to go shoot down to Texas, 100%. Hunt a high fence, and shoot a nice buck, come on back, and be done with it.
100%. I didn't know he hunted. I'm going to go support Jimmy John's now.
Yeah. Man, he's a big hunter.
That makes my heart smile. For real?
Yeah.
Where does he live? Where's he at? Sorry,
you're fine.
Shake the boat.
He helicoptered in to Illinois, so it's not too far.
Well, I mean, far enough to helicopter in, but it could be down the street. He's just rich or whatever.
That's awesome.
He recorded a podcast with my buddies at Working Class Bowhunter podcast and talked on there quite a bit. But I don't know where he's at.
I'm gonna go look that up.
He's all over the place, but he's a huge hunter. Yeah, that's a big reason why he got. I think that's the first thing he did when he started making it as a sandwich guy, as a sandwich shop. He's like, well, I'm gonna go hunting now. Right. Now I can afford to go hunting. It's great. Right. But yeah, he's a huge hunter. He's cool.
It's so important for us as humans to hunt. For me, I totally understand like Native Americans and indigenous cultures and ancients would worship animals, and why this would be like some of the stuff that we think is kind of weird was a very religious experience for them, because again, we're talking about Jesus a lot, and so I'm not comparing animals to Jesus, but I am recognizing them as part of God's creation and the sacredness of the hunt, and not just you interacting with another living animal, but you taking dominion over it and freely choosing to kill something like that. That's violent. That's extremely violent. And people ask, I'm sure they ask you all the time, like, don't you feel bad? Like, does it not bother you when you kill it? Like, yeah, it does. Actually, every time I kill an animal, like, part of me is like, man, I just killed that thing. You know,
like, super cute.
There's always a sting. Like, and I think that's necessary for us as hunters, like, because that's the element of sacrifice. That's like another level of, what it is. That's the sacred side of it. It's the sacrifice. It's giving life.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I look at it. It's like, I mean, God put us on this earth to be, multiple reasons, obviously, but one of the reasons is to have dominion over other creations, and kind of keep everything in check. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how we do things. We have to keep them in check by either killing them or protecting them, and knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them, kind of thing. Like back in the 1800s, they realized like, oh shit, we're killing a lot of animals. Like we need to dial it back
up. Yeah.
So we dialed it back. And we held them for a little bit, and then, now we can hunt them again. Now we need to start instituting like an actual program on how many to kill and how many to not kill, kind of thing. But that's a good thing because they're going to die anyways, whether they're hunters killing them or the government. So someone's going to kill these animals regardless when they become an issue. Right. But it's part of our job. Like, and yes, I do believe like it is one of those things where, especially when I first started hunting as a kid, I'm like, dang. That's sad, especially when you make a bad shot, and you have to watch this animal suffer for a while before you can get a follow-up shot and put it down. But I think that's important too because it makes you want to make better shots and be more proficient. Yeah. And but also, even when you do make a perfect shot and it goes down in seconds and it doesn't even know nothing, it just dies. It's like it is still also. It is kind of sad, but at the same time, like it's not sad in the instance of for me. It's like, oh, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight over. It's like it's a heartfelt like honor, I guess. Where I'm like, okay, like I'm able to take this animal, and I know what I'm gonna do is cherish its life and honor it, and that kind of stuff, rather than just getting killed by a pack of coyotes, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, nothing dies in nature in a peaceful way. They don't have hospice out in nature. It's like you usually get. If you get old, then you're going to die of you're going to starve to death or be eaten alive or a disease, So,
But it's a circle of life. Like everything dies, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It is weird, especially as a Christian, and I've seen arguments from like there's this Facebook group I stumbled upon for some reason. It's like Christians for veganism or something, vegan Christian Facebook group, and it's like they're bringing some valid points. It's like, oh, we're not supposed to kill and stuff like that. But it's like, but we're also supposed to have dominion over these animals, and like it's very biblical to eat meat, and they certainly didn't make meat back then.
Sure,
it's like you have to kill in order to preserve,
right?
And it's just kind of the way it is.
Even religion aside, I mean, simple science basically says protein meat is one of the most nutritious things you can eat.
It's like the most nutrition is
if I just ate lettuce, if I just ate lettuce only, or even just vegetables, I'd get a lot of nutrients, but it's I'm not going to be at full health if I don't eat meat.
Yeah, no, you're
so
not.
I'm all in favor, and if you're going to be a vegan or something like that, great, but also don't bash somebody else, or if you're anti-hunting but you still eat meat, rethink what you're doing. Like it's like
trying to figure out a nice way to say it. Like, I'm like, you're dumb.
Yeah. But oh, that's mean to the animal. What the hell do you think they're doing at the slaughterhouses?
Well, you just go buy from the store. It's like what? Okay.
The blood's on somebody's hands. Yeah. And as a man, if I'm going to have life and want to share that life with other people, I'll take that blood on my hands.
Yeah. Yep. I'd rather be on my hands, and it's like. It's just a whole thing. Like, exactly where it came from. Mm-hmm. You know exactly how it got to your table. Like, that's important. Like, I don't know how ribeye gets to my table. I go buy it from Walmart.
Right.
How many hands did it touch getting to my table? Who knows? But I know when I'm eating a delicious backstrap or a loin or even spaghetti that I made from the ground. It's like, I know that where it went. It came from the woods. Then I took it to the Mennonites, and then the Mennonites butchered it and packaged it for me.
They do the best. We have some here, and they do it's like amazing meat. Some meat sticks, jalapeno cheddar meat sticks.
They're so good.
Very good.
Very good. They do a great job.
Getting a deer like here, I'll always bring them here to the back of the house, and I'll hang them up. There's a restaurant right next to us owned by some Egyptians, and one day I was out in the driveway. Okay. This was before I had my little rig to hang up the deer on the back patio. I was in the driveway right there, cording it up, and people driving through the restaurant drive-through looking at me and everything. But then the employees came out, and they were like, "What is this?" I said, "It's a deer." they were like, "Oh, wow." And I said, "Would you like some?" So I cut off a whole quarter and just handed it over the fence to them right there.
Really?
Just like friendship, yeah. Immediately, cool people. But,
that's awesome.
But yeah, I'll get them. I'll usually bring them home and just do it. A lot of times I won't even field dress them out there. Just throw them in the truck and bring it right here and immediately do it. Mm-hmm. Usually the same night. Well, the next day, cord it up and process it myself. But just about the meat and everything, knowing where it's come from, I've I'll eat raw venison, like when I make sick people out, but like it's like beef tartare. If it's ground up and everything, it's really not bad.
It's really not, and you can do it because it's came straight from there, and that's one of those things where it's like that kind of meat you can eat either very, very rare or even raw. Like I did the initiation in hunting where I took a bite of the heart and stuff, and so did Ashley. When we were after, when she killed her first impala, they cut off a little piece of heart and she ate it, and then they did the whole thing in Africa, which is pretty sick. But you can, I don't feel like I'm going to get sick.
Right.
Just less chance of getting sick at least, because I feel like a lot of the sickness comes from the factory that has to go through the processing part of the meat.
Yeah.
So when it comes to ribeye, it's like maybe I won't eat that raw. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's just different, I think. And even who is it? Esau, right? He's a big hunter in the Bible, Old Testament and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a cherished thing.
Yeah.
They're kind of let's do it. Let's go do that. That's cool.
Sacrifice has always been part of worship.
Yeah.
Worship's always a key element of life. So.
Yeah. I don't think New Testament, Jesus didn't talk about hunting a whole lot, but I think he appreciated it.
Yeah. Declared all foods clean.
That's true. That's true. That's good enough. I'll take that.
Bacon.
I love bacon.
We finish, I'll go cook some lunch for us. We'll have some bacon and eggs and stuff. If you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Show you the house and you see the dogs. Awesome. If you had kind of flipping the seats now, I'm asking you questions. you probably have other questions. I don't know.
No, this is our BS moment
here. For kind of like a twofold question. One caliber. Mm-hmm. That's all you get. What would that be? And then if we extended that to, let's say, 3 calibers, what would your top 3 be?
Okay. Well, for me, top caliber. If I don't have control of the game laws and everything else, and
one for everything. Yeah.
35 Whelen.
Okay.
Because I can use it in Iowa, and it's very effective out west. It's a 300, 400 yard.
It's a straight wall rifle?
No, it's bottleneck. But in Iowa, we're not restricted straight walls anymore in Iowa.
Oh, nice.
It's you can use bottleneck, but it's a caliber. It's a 35 to 50 basically. So 35 Whelen we can use, even though it's a bottlenecked. It's just a necked up 30-06 that they stuffed a 35 caliber bullet into. But it's awesome.
It's got a thump.
So I'd use that.
Shot one.
Yeah, I just bought one.
Nice.
Is a CVA Scout, a single shot.
Sweet.
But they're cheap and very accurate. So
those seem like there's a guy online. I don't know his name. His little thing is Hootie Hoo or whatever.
Oh yeah, I had him on the podcast before.
Really?
Yep.
I'm gonna find that one.
Yeah.
He's he's talked about that. What made me think of him?
CVA Scout.
CVA Scout, yeah. Mm-hmm. He seems to love those. He's mentioned them a number of times. He says they're just crazy. He seems like a super good dude too.
Yeah, he's super cool. It was over the phone podcast. It was before the trailer, so it was early in the podcast, which is cool. But he's a super nice guy.
Zoomies. He put some zoomies on it for the scope.
Bullets. No, he seems super cool. I think he's a Southerner. He's probably not far from Arkansas. I don't know.
Georgia or Alabama, somewhere I think.
Like that. Yeah, he's a little more twang, wherever that comes from.
Kind of Alabama.
Yeah, but no, I think the 35 Whelen's awesome. I haven't used it yet in hunting, but just ballistically and stuff, and the research I've done on it, it seems like a really awesome caliber, and I can use it pretty much anywhere. I can't use it in Ohio or Illinois, but whatever.
Is it a breakover?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that's what I'd pick probably. Then top 3, I'm very pragmatic when it comes to calibers, so it'd probably be 35 Whelen, 450 Bushmaster, and 300 Win Mag. Would be my top 3.
Some big ones, heavy hitters.
Yeah, just out of, because then you can use the straight wall anywhere.
Sure.
In the 35 Whelen, a lot of places in the 300 Win Mag, because it's a 300 Win Mag, and it's.
I've never shot one before. Never shot 300 Win Mag.
Oh, they're sweet.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, they've withstood the test of time.
Yeah,
and I think the Field Ethos guys they call the Lord's caliber. So
yeah, I love the Field Ethos stuff, man. I read their magazine all the time, and
I do too.
I'm working on something to send in to them. Be pretty sweet.
Oh, are you?
Little article, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool awesome people though, and I like their aesthetic. I like their way they tell stories. It's kind of raw. It's real. It's not fake. It's not. It's just good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic, like a nostalgic feeling too.
They're bringing back like adventuring as like a cool manly hobby, and not like I don't know, like back in the day, like Esquire magazine and like the other men's magazines and stuff, they talked about that kind of stuff all the time, like adventuring and outdoors and hunting and that kind of stuff, like cool stuff. And then they're like, well, actually, we like, I don't know, skinny jeans and I don't know what they do now. I don't know, but it's like it's like a fashion magazine or something. I think now I'm not sure, but there used to be a bunch of magazines like If You Live, and then they all just like kind of died off.
Yeah,
I don't know. When men started getting a little bit more feminized or something. I'm not sure.
There's another one. It was a few years ago that I think they came out with it around COVID time. Modern Huntsman. Have you seen that one? It's like a thicker. I think it's a quarterly. But it's a real thick kind of magazine, but big emphasis on photos and images. There's a lot of images in there. Longer form stories too, but kind of like Field Ethos, but more images, high quality photos stuff. Really cool, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's like a thing that a lot of people. We were talking about men's health and stuff earlier in the podcast, and it's like I think that stuff's important. Like men are meant to be. We're kind of wild. We're a little bit less domesticated. Like we need our time to go out and to get a little wild with the boys and hunt and whatever else.
Great book, Wild at Heart. Have you read that by John Eldridge? Wild at Heart. Check it out, John Eldridge. It's about this whole thing. Like men are wild at heart. You need a like a battle to fight. An animal to chase, a woman to love and protect, a family to take care of, basically. And he goes through all these different things. Like in man's heart, it's this, and it's and at the center of all that is like the wildness of it.
That's 100%. I think it's
a great book. Check it out. Very easy read. The audio book is good too if you do audiobooks.
Yeah, I do like audiobooks. Yeah, I'm a pretty strong reader, but sitting down and reading a book is struggle sometimes. But and whenever I read them, it's like I try. It's always like before bed, and I just get tired, and then I'm sleeping. So, but no, I'll have to check that out. But was that Old Man and the Boy, Robert Ruark? Old book, but it's like a bunch of. That one's a good one too. Nice. I read that one, but I got really into Ernest Hemingway for a while. So I read a lot of his books.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was kind of like my intro into Africa. I think I got into it when we got back from Africa. I'm like, okay, Ernest Hemingway. We're doing it. That's what you do. He did all sorts of stuff.
Never been to Africa. I'd like to go sometime. Used to never have the desire to go for a hunt over there. But over probably the last 6 months or a year, like I've been thinking, man, that'd be sweet. It'd be like a once in a lifetime kind of thing for me. But awesome. It's not as hard though, from what I'm learning. I mean, like the expensive part is getting over there and the travel, because like the animals are. Comparatively speaking, like to animals over here, like if you're paying for a hunt, like they're not a lot. I mean, you can't bring meat back, but you can bring back the mounts or whatever.
Yep. We get them mounted over there and then shipped over after they're completed. We have we were with Stuart Pringle, Legendary African Outfitters. So we were with him, and Nathan Regal. He does he takes care of a lot of the taxidermy stuff because he has a big taxidermy business too. So it's like one-stop shop. You go hunt over there, and then he has a taxidermy business, so they just do it all and then ship it over to you when it's done. So we're actually supposed to get our next shipment in from the second time we went to Africa here pretty soon.
Awesome.
So,
where
where
was that?
Limpopo province, so it'd be South Africa. Not like we didn't get into anywhere north of South Africa. Like there's some other spots like Zimbabwe and stuff you can hunt too, but we stayed in South Africa, and I don't know, it was awesome. I shot an impala, Ashley shot an impala, she also shot a wildebeest, and then I got like a diker, an eland, sable, Miala. Cool. Yeah, they're super cool.
One of my best friends he lives in Utah. He's a taxidermist out there. Dean Schulte is his name. Dean Schulte. He's got the High Unitas is the name of the taxidermy place, but he really specializes in safari animals.
Oh, really? I think I've seen it.
A ton of people ship stuff over here. Phenomenal. I got some skulls in there that he's given me. So I've never been to Africa, but the skulls that I do have, the African skulls I have are from him. But such cool animals.
They're so cool. Cool. I mean, you can go there and do a photo safari too if you want to. Like it's cool. Like, it's cool to see them, but like when you're hunting them, you're doing a photo safari, and then you also get to hunt.
Sure.
Like it's awesome. Like the first year we went, I predominantly bow hunted, and that was cool. Like sitting over a watering hole, and it's just like animals coming in and going, just is insane. And then the second time we went, we did a lot of spot and stock with rifles and stuff, and it was amazing.
What gun do you use? Do you travel with a gun, or did they have one to use?
The last time we didn't. We just rented one while we were there, and it was just 300 Win Mag, and shot everything from a Diker to an Eland.
Poor little Diker. Much was left.
It was, yeah. I mean, after I shot him, I'm like, you guys fix that, right?
Not much of a track jam on him, probably.
None. Yeah, none. Actually, that's the thing about the 300 Win Mag is that's so cool. Actually, is just that. I mean, everything because the Diker. Yes, the hole was much bigger on the Diker, but it wasn't like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But everything from the Diker to an Eland, which is 3,000 pound animal, just huge, all one shot, just done.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a very versatile bullet.
Yeah.
Like a cartridge. It's amazing. Like really, really cool.
It seems like Africa would be kind of like like some of the Texas hunts I've been on. Like you see a lot of animals, and I think people often equate seeing a lot of animals means that it's an easy hunt, but it brings in actually another element of hunting where you're not just hunting for any deer, any antelope. You're hunting for this deer, this antelope.
Absolutely.
And that's the frustrating part because most of the time it's the older ones, as you know, as all listeners know. So they're smart. You don't get old because you're dumb, right? You get old because you're smart, and they'll always hole up. You'll see them. They're like, but damn, I just can't get a shot. And they'll mess with you, mess with you. And, but the cool thing about that, especially in Texas, something that's a cool thing is that with the volume of animals that I've seen is like you begin to learn animal behaviors better.
Yes,
and it's been a really fun thing because then you get better at estimating what they're going to do, where they're going to come from, how they're going to react and stuff, or just how behaviors, for example, of the does or the cows will respond to how they act before a buck or a bull comes out. Like you don't see the buck or bull; they know they're there. They smell them or see them, but just their temperament changes, and you're like, okay, something's about to happen. Then, sure enough, 4 minutes later, here comes Freddie, and gonna go look for a girl. But.
Yeah. So you've hunted out west quite a bit too.
Yeah, I go out pretty every fall. I've gotten one elk whole time out there. I got an antelope in northeast New Mexico a few years ago, but that's about it for the western hunts. Just get kicked in the face every time I go. It's always been public land.
Are you archery hunting when you go out west?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, I've never done it. Well, the antelope was the pronghorn was a rifle. All the rest have been archery. I did one rifle hunt in Idaho. I want to do another elk hunt though with rifle, but I already put it in this year for bow, just for better odds. But I did a hunt in Idaho. It was a rifle hunt. It was the only public land elk that I've taken a shot at. Earlier, like you mentioned, like losing an animal, that sucks. So this one's a nice elk. It was a 5x5. Just gave me a solid frontal, but I just couldn't recover him. And I mean, the shot placement was great. I heard it hit, the way he responded. It was right when it was starting to rain. He runs down. I don't know if you've been to Idaho, but like it's steep and just nasty. He goes straight down the side of this hill, and I spent probably 4 hours just looking for. I can't find him anywhere. There's no blood. Of course, it's thick up front and a ton of fur.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I was sick. I still am about it, but if I was presented with the exact same shot, I would take it again. Like I would not hesitate with it. But yeah, so go out west a lot. Early on, was doing it with a lot of buddies. The last few years, it's been all solo, which has been
solo.
Yeah, been a journey in itself. Like it's you. I have a little bitty tiny camper, and I'll pull it out there. And last year I started using that. Before that, I was always sleep in the bed of the truck, just a little topper on. Those are fun. It's kind of my recharge time, retreat time, all alone.
Gosh, you spend some time in your head when you're alone.
You think every thought a human can think. It's inevitable. Every year I always have a breakdown. I always go out there and I just lose it, and then just the roller coaster of emotions, excitement, and then I get angry or depressed, and then sad, and then just all these. It's just a healing thing, like a time to decompress. Open the box that we were talking about earlier, and let that stuff out. But so going out west is fun. Usually Colorado is what it's been because there's just ease of tags. Last year I went to New Mexico as well, which I loved. I love kind of that arid feel, and slightly warmer weather, drier, not as steep. So it was really fun. But
Yeah.
Go out west a lot. I want a bear. That's really what I want more than anything.
Yeah, talking about losing animals. I went bear hunting one time, and I had this giant chocolate bear last day of the hunt in Wyoming, and I'm like, oh sweet, last day, like, this is gonna be sick. Like that was the bear that I was looking for, and didn't see a bear all the whole week. Really, I'm trying to think now. No, I don't think I didn't see a bear, and then that bear came in the last day. I'm like, oh, it's him. I got ready, super stable, took my shot, felt great, everything felt great. I'm like, he's toast.
Yeah.
No problem. And just couldn't find him. Same thing. Same thing as that your elk, just same thing. But he's a huge, just a giant chocolate. And in Wyoming, you get all the color phases there.
Right.
So I'm like, that would have been so sick. I told this might be why, because maybe God knew I didn't want to piss Ashley off that day, because I told the guy, I'm like, if I get this bear, I'm full body mounting him. Because he's that big.
And God was like, cool. No.
And and it's like, well, I'll get you close, but not quite all the way there. But also, I think maybe a little bit of humility, because I was maybe getting a little cocky, especially with guns, because I'm a good shot. I'd say I'm an above average shooter, and maybe I was getting a little cocky, and it's like, damn, a little humble pie. It sucks, but man, hunting will feed you some humble pie sometimes.
Every time. That's one of the things that I like about it. It's one of the things that you can't fully control. You can do everything perfectly within your control, and it doesn't guarantee the animal. And so it's, again, back to that element of humility and kind of recognizing our own limitations, that there's a lot of stuff we can't control. But bears are so cool. Arkansas has actually a lot of bears. I don't know if you know that. I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast. Actually, no, don't come here to hunt bears. But it's one of the easiest states.
Used to have a lot of bears.
Yeah, used
back
to.
in the day.
Yeah. Yep. Now there's none. No, I'm joking. But it's as easy. Actually, yeah. Anyone listening, come on. It's a great state, public land, hard as hell to hunt them. But
actually, I think Clay Newcomb already screwed that up for you.
Yeah,
he's from Arkansas.
He's a good dude. Yeah,
okay.
Really cool guy. He's a bear slayer. Him and Brent. Brent lives just up the road here. He's a real good guy. We went coon hunting once with his dog, Waylon. Okay. That's fun. Brandon dogs. But bears, every time I've gone hunting and I didn't have a bear tag, I'm certain this has happened with you. Anytime you don't have a tag, you see all the animals.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Bears everywhere. So then I started getting tags, and then they disappear. Then I'll skip a year and won't get a tag, and then I'll see bear every day. So
that's how it was in Idaho. My first time in Idaho, went out there with an elk tag and saw bear, wolves, all sorts of stuff. Second year, I bought a wolf tag, I bought a bear tag, I bought an elk tag. Didn't see shit.
Last year in New Mexico, there was a pack of the Mexican gray wolves where I was at.
Really?
So yeah, I heard them every night. I was out there one day. I was out, and one of the wardens came by, and I always love talking to those guys. Anytime I see them, I don't hide. I'll always go up and start a conversation, just get some intel and introduce myself. And it would be fun to be a warden. Although if I was a game warden, you wouldn't be able to do what you love most, because you're having to work during hunt season big time. But but he was one of the guys in charge of monitoring this pack of wolves, and they were sure enough just right there. And they had just passed. They had tracking collars on them, and where I was at, they were there just an hour or two something before, and just coming through. And he was just kind of. He was easing his way around to see if he could get eyes on them for the day to see where they were at. But it was really cool animals.
That's cool. Yeah, I've only seen a handful of wolves in my life. And
in Idaho, I heard them
wild.
too.
Huh?
In Idaho, I heard them.
Yeah.
Well. I didn't see them, but
I should rephrase that. I didn't see a wolf when I was in Idaho. I heard them, the first time. But I was ready to go on.
They're big though, aren't they?
I've
never seen them. No.
I've seen one time. I'm pretty sure it was in southern Minnesota when we were going to go shopping. I'm like, that's a little south, a little too close to Iowa, buddy. Head north, get out of here. But it was a giant black dog that was not a coyote, and it didn't look domesticated. It was on the field just hauling ass. I'm like, geez, that's got to be a wolf. Nice. It was a wolf. I'm not. But that's the only time I've seen one out in the wild, just running around in southern Minnesota, which is insane. But Hearing them is eerie.
Yeah, that
They're
Idaho
creepy.
hunt. I want to go back. It was a hell of a drive. It was like 35 hours to get there, so it took forever. But
I want to go back.
what was cool? There's so much. Like, it's still the Wild West out there. And I had an elk tag, but out there in Idaho, like at the tag that I had, you could use it for the elk, or you could either do a bear, mountain lion, or a wolf if it came first, but that would count for your tag. Like you.
Yep.
And
I understand.
so there was this little holler that I found. I was just kind of scouting around, and I found a deer tucked under a log, and I was like, "That's bizarre." So I pulled the deer out, and like it was from a mountain lion. It killed it, and it was stashing it there. So I pulled it out, saw the scratch marks, like part of it eaten out. Whoa. I was like, this is intense. And I left it there. The next morning I went back in. It was back under the log, covered up with like grass or like the sticks and stuff. And so again, I pulled it. More of it was eaten out, and I pulled it out. For the next 2 days, I kept going back and pull it out. Yeah. But
he's like, dude, knock it off.
Hey, right. I stayed there the last day and took a predator call and tried to, but he wouldn't come. He may have been there the whole time. You'll never see him.
He's probably watching you do it the whole time.
I was like, this guy's a moron.
What an idiot, dude. I could kill
What
you.
a loser.
I could just claw you apart, dude.
He's scared of a tree stand.
Yeah, climb up here and get me, buddy.
Oh man,
dude, that would be fun. That would be a fun hunt too. I'm not opposed to any hunting. Like,
Yeah,
I want to do it all.
Yeah.
Like we're only here for however long. You know, it might be tomorrow, might be another 50 years. You never know. Yeah. But I want to do it all. That's the one thing. I'm like, I'll never. It's really hard to say no to a hunt. Like if someone invites me and they're like, "Hey, come over here and hunt," I'm like, okay. I'm like, look at my time. Like, okay, do I have enough PTO at work? Like, can I make this happen? Like, I'm trying.
Yeah, a fun hunt. Have you ever been on a gator hunt?
No.
Yeah, you need to come to Louisiana. Got some buddies down there, and we go every year for alligators. It's a lot of fun. They got a ton of alligators down there.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
It's almost like rodent control, pest control. It's all in like the sugarcane fields, the place where we go. We'll go fishing out in the basin and stuff like that. You see them everywhere. But
are in the fan boats and everything?
Just regular boat, like a bass boat.
I know if you're like swampy,
in the basin.
Wow, in the giant fan boat.
Be sweet.
Father Stephen Gadberry over there now.
But on these farms, these sugarcane farms, they got like the waters, like the ditches around them. That's where they just hang out.
Oh, really?
You'll put some hooks out, just kind of hang a hunk of chicken over the water a couple of feet, and if it's too low, the little ones will come up and eat it. But hanging up real high, and the big ones will come. And you set your lines, and then kind of go do other stuff, go fishing midday, and then you come back in the afternoon and check them. And
so you're hooking them first, kind of like catfish, like you putting out like a line,
huge hook, either a single or a treble hook. Put the chicken on there. What we'll do is we'll have it staked off, tied to some heavy cord, and then we'll use a piece of cane pole, stick the cane pole in the bank, and then a little clothespin to set the string and adjust the height, and just hold it there. And whenever we go around to check, the stick will be down if somebody's gotten it. So then you just go grab the string and just pull it. Sometimes they'll get the meat and the hook won't set. So you'll pull it. There's nothing. But if you pull it and there's resistance, you know there's a gator. And then you pull them, and you'll see this. It's always muddy because it's stirred up where they're at. And then once you start pulling it, you'll see this little dark shadow rising up. And then once the head comes up, something about oxygen hitting their eyeballs. Whenever they get their head out of water, they are pissed.
Oh, really?
And they are it's nothing but muscle.
Are they hard to pull up? Like, are they fighting you when you're pulling them in? Or are they just kind of like pretty docile?
No, it's interesting. So when they're in the water and you're pulling them, they're just kind of floating along until they break the surface. And then I guess they see you, and then they're like, I don't know what's going on. And then they lose their mind. They'll start rolling and flailing and everything.
Jeez.
It's terrifying. We got 11 and a half footer.
It's a dinosaur.
Yeah, it was massive a couple years ago. This year I got a 9 footer, and then we got another like a little smaller 6 footer. But there were a lot of them out there.
Dang, that'd be super fun.
It's cool.
I got
the head and I still have to finish the skull. It's like cleaning it up and everything, but I'll show you the skull. It's at the house.
I want to get some gator boots. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Gators, cowboy boots, baby.
But it's fun. The first one I got
cool.
was with a bow, with my recurve. Just slipped it down behind, base of his head, the arrow.
Damn.
And this year I used a 300 blackout, and that was just That's such a cool gun. It's it's in the lever action, and it's quiet, it's accurate, it's effective. I got a black buck in November in Texas, and I used that 300 Blackout as well. It's just a good gun, really good gun. But that's what we use for the Gators this year. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Use pistols, use whatever you want, but just kill them. You should join us.
I would love to.
If Mama let you go for a couple of days.
Oh, I'm sure. She'd probably be fine. You might not be there. Is there a lot of snakes?
Yeah, some.
I won't go.
She won't go
You're
then.
not fine.
She has this like very unhealthy fear of snakes. So like she's fine in Africa because we were there when they were like still dormant. So she was fine. Didn't see any black mambas, but she cannot do snakes.
I get the jibbies with snakes too.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Florida and do like one of the iguana hunts, but I'm scared of the not anacondas. What are
Pythons?
They? Pythons.
Yeah.
The pythons.
Screw that.
Have you seen those videos of those guys going to get, and like they're just in the ground. You don't even see them, but they're nested up. And
They have bounties on them in Florida. Like, hey, if you bring us a python, dead or alive, we'll pay you X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's like people are making a living out there hunting snakes, these invasive snakes, and they're just destroying the Everglades.
Yeah.
Absolutely decimating everything.
it's like those iguanas too. They're both of them.
Yeah, they are too.
But they're more than I guess they're everywhere too. But they're really taking over the like neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
But
they're
the
invasive too.
yeah.
They're all brought in.
But the snakes though, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, people just had pets and released them or something, I guess, and they just thrive.
Yeah, some rich people were just like, I want a snake. And they're like, nah, just joking. This thing's too big now. What do we do? Throw it outside. And then just, then they have these, there's no natural predators. Like,
No.
you know, what do you do? Like, what, they're just going to keep,
I agree with Ashley. I don't know how many times I've been hunting or walking through the woods, and then, you know, you stumble upon them, and then be between your legs or something. You almost step on it, and then just do the classic like Looney Tunes, like high stepping away and saying every word that you shouldn't say. And like,
That's funny.
And then once the GBs go past you, then I'll go back and look at it. But
On that note, so obviously we've been talking pretty freely. I've always been curious, I guess. What do Catholics think about swearing or cussing or?
yeah, good topic.
know?
I love it. I love cussing. It's actually in seminary. My final thesis that I did was on music as the language of the soul. It's going to come back to cussing. Music as the language of the soul. I talked about the Psalms in the Bible, the song book of the Bible. You know, the Psalms of David. But then I connected it to blues and jazz music as the 20th century reliving of the Psalms. Exodus, suffering, persecution, liberation, freedom, and how music always accompanies that. Music allows us to sing when words fall short, music carries on. And through that, though, it was a big study in the use of language. And so swear words or cuss words, bad words, whatever you want to call them, it's a part of the language. You know, there's and they're perfectly fine to use. What we have to do is take into consideration what the word is, what's the context it's used in, and who's around. You know, but you would do that with other words as well, like that aren't cuss words.
Right.
You know, when you're talking with your kids or y'all are having dinner and like y'all won't talk about some things in front of the kids. It doesn't even have to be a bad word. It's just not the time or the place for them to hear that. You know, but there's I'm 100% in favor of them. They're again, it's the use of it, the time, the place, and the reason. Sometimes even, at least in my life, in my experience, I believe that there's moments when a bad word, quote unquote, would be the proper word for a situation. Something bad happens or something exciting, whatever it may be, and I'm like, oh, well, shucks, darn it, or something like that. It's like, well, no, actually, I'm kind of lying because that's not the proper descriptor of this situation. It's not the proper word. So, like, one of the things I think about is like, in a way, it's almost like I'm not speaking the truth by not using the fullest of the language in that situation to explain a situation, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a long answer to say, like, I'm not opposed to it. I say a lot of times people are kind of startled whenever I say a bad word or something, and you know, of course I won't say it, like I won't cuss in church or something like that. When little kids are present, but and again, it's not like a fake thing either. Like just some people cuss.
There's a time and place.
Right. Some people cuss just to say the words, but
I'm also not gonna get naked in front of in the middle of a church.
Right.
But when it's time to take a shower, I'm not gonna wear my clothes either.
Time and place for it.
Time and place for everything.
Yeah. What do you think about them?
I'm with you. But I have noticed I've been trying to make a change, and Ashley's been doing a pretty good job of helping out. But it's like I would swear so much where it was making me sound silly. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just the military.
Sure.
And breaking out of that habit and stuff like that. And also where I work, blue collar jobs and everything else. It's like, it's just part of it. But especially after this podcast and like listening back to how I sound in recording, I'm like, damn, like that's it. That's how I sound.
Yeah.
It's just the F word every other word. Like,
sure.
I need to tone it down a little bit and use words, all words, not just, you know, bad words or whatever words, but all words I feel like have equal meaning in how they're used and how you choose to portray yourself or get your point across. You know, it's like every word. I'm just trying to be more, I guess, conscious of what I'm saying and how I'm saying things, whether it's a swear word or not.
Sure.
And just trying to be more, I guess, poignant. Would that be the word? But trying to use more, I guess, if I need to emphasize something, I'm not. I definitely swear.
Sure.
But if it's not that crazy or not that much of an emphasis, then I don't need to.
Exactly.
Deal, you know what I mean?
Well said. It's about the intentionality behind it.
Yeah.
And it can be a problem if you do it so much that you begin to say it without thinking, saying these words without thinking, because then it brings up, again, the risk of scandal, like saying stuff in front of children that you shouldn't say or something like that. But the same could apply for any other word. It's not, I'll use crutch words all the time. I wish I didn't use them as much, like or like, you know, these different words, just filler words in the proper use of English, like those don't have their place. Like those should not be there. And so it's about the intentionality.
I'm trying to speak like I'm writing. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to speak more like that. Like if I'm writing something down, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, it's Father Stephen Gadberry. What do you think about the Catholic Church? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do more of that. Like speak how I write.
Right.
It's kind of how I'm trying to be, I guess. And like I said, this podcast's been helping me. Like I'll listen back and edit, and I'm like, seriously, that's how I sound on that. I'm like, but I don't edit it out. I just learn from it because I don't like editing these podcasts a whole lot because I don't want it to be overly edited. I don't want the listener to listen to Victory Drive and be like, oh, we're getting some NPR garbage, you know, overly edited and everything else. I want people to understand the actual conversation as it unfolds.
Right.
You know?
It takes a lot of time too. Like if you listen to a whole nother podcast just to edit it out, like it's easier just to write it up.
Yeah. And this is not my full-time job. And I'm not going to sit there for 17 hours editing audio and edit everything out. If I sound like a dumbass, I sound like a dumbass. That's just the way it is. You know, that's who I am, dude. You know, so it's like take it or leave it. But I don't. It's just also like the authenticity of it. Like I like to. The whole point of this podcast for me, and the whole point of podcasting in general, is to have conversations and have them unfold the way they unfold. And if I'm sitting here editing out every single thing that made me look stupid, that's not authentic. And I don't want to portray that off the audience. And I'm not afraid to look stupid. It is what it is. Or look smart. I'll take that. That'd be cool.
Sure.
But
one more thing with the words, cuss words, for example, would be their use. Like I'm not a big proponent of directing them to people. Using them as adjectives is one thing. Now, if someone's a dumbass, like I'll say you're a dumbass, or like what you did was like a dumbass thing. Like,
with all due respect.
Yeah. Love you, brother, but you're a moron.
Just because you say it with all due respect doesn't mean you can say whatever you want afterwards.
I mean this in the best way. But I try to be intentional about, you know, like if I'm using them to enhance the word or something, use it like that. But the whole thing with the podcast and editing it is connected to some of the stuff that we were talking about earlier of the messiness of life. We can't edit out the stuff that we can't edit out life. Like it is what it is. Like we're living it. We got to learn from it and keep moving on. And a big thing of what I believe the Lord has called me to in ministry, and one of the reasons I'm so raw and vulnerable with people, it's not like a fake thing. It's an honest transparency in that, like an invitation to the people to live a spontaneous life. Don't be afraid of the messiness of life. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. All of our lives are crazy, wild. Like they're all a mess in one way or another, you know? And so, but again, one of the earlier things I talked about was that restlessness in the heart. that very messiness can be the very fire that keeps you going. You know, a little while ago, you were talking about Ernest Hemingway, reading books. So a good book or a good movie, it's the same thing. I love this image. If you're reading a book and you get to the end of the chapter and you're thinking, all right, I'll finish up this chapter. It's inevitable. Like the last chapter or last paragraph or two, something happens. There's a plot twist, and you're like, "Well, son of a bee." All right, one more chapter. I'm gonna read one more.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it just draws you. The twists and turns, the unplanned things draw you into the story. Same thing with a movie. You get 2/3 of the way through a movie, the whole plot's been established, the storyline, the character development, and you're thinking, "Oh, this is great," and then something happens that you didn't see coming. You don't get mad and throw the remote control through the television screen. You keep watching it, and in some ways you lean in more to it.
Yeah.
You read the book, more excitedly. You watch the movie with more attention. The same thing happens in our lives, man. Every day, things happen that we weren't expecting, we weren't anticipating. And God, the great author of life, the thing is, He's still writing your story. And to discredit Him as an author, our Lord, the God of all the universe, to think that He doesn't know what's behind the storyline is very prideful and very ignorant, willful ignorance almost. Instead of trusting that, well, this maybe the author of this story that God has invited me to live, maybe there's something to it. Maybe this story is bigger than me, and it is. And there's some one theologian in particular, Hans Urs von Balthasar, pretty cool name.
That's a sick name.
Swiss guy. Hans Urs von Balthasar. He one of the big theological principles that he developed was the ego drama and the theodrama. These stories that we live, the drama, these stories of life, these dramas of life. Most of us are living an ego drama where we're the main character. It's all about me. I'm the center of this story. This is my story, the ego drama. This is mine, and I'm doing it. I'm producing it, writing it. A good friend of mine, Bishop Barron, he talks about this stuff a lot. This dichotomy of the ego drama and the theodrama. The ego drama is what most of us live in, but God's inviting us into the theodrama, where God's the main character. God's the main actor. He's the main player. We've got key parts in that story, but we're not the center of the story. That's when the story gets exciting, because it's a bigger story. The ego drama actually gets boring pretty quickly. So the invitation into that wilder area of life, so that's connected to the cussing and the incompleteness of or the imperfections of the podcast, back to the restless heart. So that was kind of where that little bunny hole went.
That's good. I like that. It's it made me think about there's this, I don't know if it's like a thing. It's a condition that some people have. Yeah, I've heard it called main character syndrome, where people just think that it's so full of themselves, where they're kind of like, I'm the main character of this story, and it's like he's walking around thinking he's the main character. And it's like, dude,
right?
you're bring yourself back down here,
Sure.
kind of thing. That I have to, I think as people, we just need to realize when we have that main character syndrome ourselves, and just. And like hunting will humble you and make you realize, like, ooh, I'm not infallible. I make mistakes in life in general. But it's just like, I think that's a good way to look at it. Like, you're not the main character, but we're all pieces. We're all characters in this big story. And the main thing is, I mean, I don't know what was going to happen. I don't know if, are you part of, like, I guess your personal belief is, like, what's that called when everything's was it determinism? Predestination? Yeah. Like, is that a Catholic thing, or is it like, because we all have? I mean, according to the Bible, I believe we all have freedom, like of will, right? So, like, is that thought process kind of go against the?
Yeah, great question. It's a really great question. So, the big thing with the Catholic faith, preface to this answer, is we're a both and faith, not always an either or. There's some things in life, either or, like it's either Satan or God, heaven or hell, sin or life. So those things are either ors. Almost everything else is both and. So when it comes to this subject of predestination, the whole question that comes in is, where's my free will if it's all predetermined? And the Catholic Church would teach, and St. Augustine talks about this, it would be both and. It's actually the predestination of God's plan for us, for salvation, eternal life with Him, that guarantees and ensures the situation and the scenarios and the ability to have free will in a moment. So God's foreknowledge He knows everything about us, even before we do it. That does not take away from our free will, but rather it ensures that we will be able to exercise free will in that moment. All this stuff, it may sound, I don't know if that made sense, but God's knowledge of all this stuff has all the places in peace and all the pieces in place so that we can fully and freely live in those moments when we get to them. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's not an either or, but rather a both and.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good, because when I think about when I missed that, or when I lost that bear, I'm like, dang, you couldn't have wrote you couldn't have predestined me to get the bear.
Sure.
God, like, what are we doing here? But it's really my fault. So
I've had many very strong conversations with God on hunts.
Yeah, I bet.
Go hunting and just get my ass kicked, and it's like, God, I do all this stuff for you, and you can't even help me get an animal. Blah 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 blah. God, and then through it all, usually on the drive home, I'm bummed because I'm going home empty-handed, but I'm going home happy. It's like, okay,
I get it.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
All right.
I've definitely changed. Like a lot of times I'll like pray before I go hunt and stuff like that. And like you know, obviously, like, God, just help me enjoy your creations when I'm out here, and help me from being too focused on the end result. Sure. Basically, I'm praying for myself, because I'll lose it. Like if I'm too focused on killing a deer, then when it doesn't happen, I get really bummed out, and I miss everything else.
Sure.
That is great. And it takes reflection to be like, oh, you know what, that was actually a great time, even though I'm mad that I missed a deer or didn't see one or whatever it was. But God's been doing a really good job, putting them in front of me.
Sure.
But also me realizing that I still have a part to play in then screwing it up. It's like, because they're wild animals, I can't control them.
Exactly.
But it's like, God, just let me see something cool, and then I do, and then I screw it up. I'm like, okay, well, thanks. You did your job. I'm the idiot. I screwed up that shot or whatever it was. Like, oh, yeah. I knew I should have hung my stand in that tree. That was my first instinct. I chose to go over here.
Right. And that's the difference between control and participation. God didn't make us to control all this stuff, but participate with all this stuff. And so, in hunting, I don't want this to sound like too hokey pokey or hocus pocus or like silly.
Pocusy.
Yeah, but there is something to hunting. Like I've gone on plenty of hunts where I wanted to be in control of everything, and yes, I've killed. But there's also been countless hunts when I've gone in, I was in control of the hunt, didn't get a damn thing, didn't even see anything. But there's been other hunts where I was just like, okay, let's just go with the flow of it, and just kind of like, yeah, peace out, bro. Like, kind of just go through it, kind of mellow, and everything falls in place.
Yeah.
And like the weird stuff, I don't want it to sound weird, but like, I think there is like some kind of energy there. That sounds even weird saying it, heretical almost, but it's almost like nature itself. This sounds so new agey, but like almost like nature. There's something about our vibes and the resonance with nature and us with nature and nature with us. And again, I'm not I don't mean that like a weirdo or anything, but there's just something to it. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's because I think it's because we're living in such a weird time, like the past 100 years or so. We'll say it's a very small amount of time. You can take it in the grand scheme of life on Earth, it's kind of thing. But that's how we're meant to be. I think we're meant to be out there, and we're meant to get vitamin D from the sun. We're meant to be out in nature and all this other stuff. Like, it does sound hocus pocusy, new agey a little bit when you put it like that. But it's like, that's true. Like, that's been true for our entire existence, and that's how it was. That's how it was in the beginning.
Yes.
And now we're living in concrete jungles.
Sure.
And this is actually weird. Like living in Little Rock, Arkansas, where you have freeways and interstates, and you're surrounded by all this stuff that's all 100% created by man. 100%. And you get in a city, like a big city. Let's go like New York City. It's anxiety ridden. You're full of adrenaline, but also anxiety where like someone's going to stab me in the back, or what this is going to happen. Like, it's a completely different feeling being in a big city. And then when you go out in the woods, you're like, this is the best. It's so peaceful, and like, that's the way it's supposed to be. I think. And whenever you're surrounding yourself with man-made things, it just sucks.
It does.
Kind of, in a certain situation. It's great
100%.
in some certain situations, but overall, like, it's not good on your health.
People have got to get out. That's
Yes.
that's such a huge proponent of that. There is something about, again, the Catholic Church being a both and religion, is and we teach this. The Catholic Church teaches this, that there's a ray of truth in every religion that's out there. Like pretty much everything out there, there is an element of truth. The thing is that it's not the fullness of truth, and
Right.
so that's why you can't take any single thing as its own. Say all, end all, do all, be all, whatever that phrase is, but recognizing the element of truth or the ray of truth. For example, like the New Age stuff, like some of it's kind of wacko, but there's also something to grounding. There's something to being present to the present moment, like chilling out. Like as a culture and a society, we need to do that. We need more silence, and we need more space. It's good to get away from everything, and it's going to suck when you go, but it's like a detox, which is why one of the reasons I love these trips out west every fall is that the drive, and I always prefer to drive. I hate flying. I'd rather drive 5 days than fly 2 hours.
Yeah.
But there's something about the drive out that I have all this angst from my daily life that's with me. So like this energy like keeps me awake, alert as I'm driving out, but then I start processing all this stuff. I usually have a notepad on the console of my truck, and I'm just writing down notes here, left and right. They don't make sense in the moment. This thought, this random idea, oh yeah, this memory, or this thing stressed me off, or she pissed me off, or this person made me mad, or I can't stand this, or this was good, this was a victory, whatever. Putting it all down, and then after you're driving for 2 days straight and processing all this stuff, then all this jumbled mess that I've put on paper, taken out of my soul, out of my heart, my mind, put it down here, processing it, chewing on it, reflecting on it, I can see a deeper pattern within it, which then goes back to that bigger story, the theodrama. This little ego drama, me trying to make it all happen, doesn't make sense. It just puts my cortisol through the roof, stresses me out. But when I go into space and silence, not outer space, but like when I create space around me, alone time, or even time with people, but in a very sacred and vulnerable and like intimate, like quiet moment, being with your best friends on some hunts and talking in the evening a little bit, morning a little bit, like you respect each other's privacy and quiet. Like something happens in the heart, and we've got to do that.
Yeah, I think so. I agree 100%. I think it's a great place to end it for now.
Yeah, you want to go get some food?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Cool.
Check out some of your guns and everything else. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
great
you.
to meet you in person. Great to chat.
Absolutely.
I talked a lot, but
no, that's perfect.
Enjoyed the conversation. You had phenomenal questions, and keep up the good work. You and Ashley are doing a good job, and
awesome. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
God bless, man.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Great.